What's up? I'm back. This segment talk about The Walking Dead a little bit, real quick, about the character Beth. I would say this to begin. I liked the season finale, the mid-season finale. It was acceptable. I do think this season is kind of strange to read because it started off really awesome. The first episode was incredible. They had some high points, like people finding out Eugene was lying. I think that was very good. That was a big time high point. Even the whole stuff with Gareth's group, how it ended, the conflict, very good high point. So I think there was more good than bad. I think the only thing that annoyed me this season so far is the character called Beth. I'll be honest with you. The Walking Dead is set in a post-apocalyptic world. I just think the character's not realistic. Someone like that would have been killed a long time ago. You could pretend she's strong. You could even try to amp it up. I mean, even the character Noah, I'm not really a fan of him either. Honestly, I mean, I kind of can't wait for him to die too. To be honest, Beth, and thank God they killed Beth, because if we would have had Beth and Noah, it just would have been too much. Combined, it would just been too much. But I think you see when Carl, almost got raped, right, by the people who Dal was hanging with. That's real. That's what the post-apocalyptic world will look like. I think that was realistic. Beth, just not buying it. Even when I see some people want to start an online petition, that's a little bit too much. In fact, the online petition, when I saw that, is why I made the video. I said enough. I think it's time for people to admit. You have to admit it. The character just fit people's egos more. The Snow White stuff, it just hit. People like the character because that's just what they've been trained to like. But if you really look at it realistically, and this is nothing against her in particular, her sister Maggie. Maggie's probably my favorite character in the show, honestly. Outside of Rick, Maggie's my favorite character in the show. I think the show long term, obviously it's going 5 seasons. It's so hot, to the ratings, you could see it's going to go at least another 3. I think the weakness in the show is that sometimes you can cater to your fans, and your fans can lead you to the ground. This is the same reason why I had problems with DC, where I said in other videos where I think DC is doing some terrible moves. They have great TV shows, but terrible moves they're doing. And then you go online, you see their fans like, yeah, DC's killing it. They're about to take over. It's like, you don't really, as a creator, as a writer, you can't listen to that. Because people are hot and cold anyway. They'll love you today and tomorrow they hate you. I think with The Walking Dead, the one problem I see with it is that, Daryl was the most popular character in the show, right? People love him. I think the same reason why people like Daryl is kind of the same reason why people like Beth. I'm not going to say why, but you can figure it out. But when you look at Rick, really the show really lives and dies with him, to be honest. The fans may not see it because they're in emotion. They're not really... See, when you're a creator, you can't pay attention to the fans at times. You have to, but you have to look at it as just one of the factors. If it's your main factor that you use in your creative process, you're in trouble. The fans don't realize this season improved because Rick got better. Rick got on his game this season. So the season improved. Last season, he was a mess. But they would hype up Daryl. They would hype up Beth. They would hype up Carol. But these characters are very good side characters. You can't really have them as the leading person, to be honest. I actually think I would actually rank Maggie ahead of Daryl, Carol, Beth. I already said I'm glad she's dead, right? So obviously, I'm not a fan of Beth, but I think realistically, you can't really say anything about The Walking Dead. It's a successful show. It's probably one of the most successful shows on cable. Let's keep it real. It can probably go 5 more seasons, even if it goes down every single season. Remember, Talking Dead, which comes after Walking Dead, the show, at 10 o'clock Eastern time, it gets the same ratings Breaking Bad got when it was at its high point. That's scary. Not even, it gets Breaking Bad's ratings when Breaking Bad was at its high point. So Walking Dead is probably not going anywhere. They probably can go for at least another 5 seasons to it. But, my gripe in it is that I could tell the writers sometimes cater to some of these people, and these people are not really, to be honest. I mean, anybody who can't see Beth's character is useless. Even when they say, Beth's character is strong. I mean, it's a TV show. Like, Maggie's character is strong. You look at Maggie's character transform when they first met Maggie, you can see it. Beth is singing on a guitar. Let's be real. She's trapped in the hospital, in a prison. A female in that type of world, what happened to her. Carl almost got raped when he was a little kid. And I'm not saying this to be, anti-feminist. It's just being real. Even little kids, even little males will be in trouble in that world. So when you see Beth as this person who eventually, she gets the guts to stab, I don't even remember the prison ward's name. I forget her name because that's another character I'm kind of glad she died too. It's just not realistic, to be honest. Even when that female character was in charge of the prison, and not the prison, the hospital, and all these people are following her. I like how they did it when she had it in hand-to-hand combat. She beat the dude, right? So I liked it because the first person somebody would ask is, why would these people follow her? When society is intact, right? Yeah, when society's intact, you have a female boss, the people listen, and they have to follow it, or you might get fired. But in the post-apocalyptic world, it doesn't mean that a woman can't be running the show, but the woman running the show has to be brutal. Just like how a man will be brutal. Brutal in terms of violence. Because the number one thing in the post-apocalyptic, we're seeing in our world, you get into degree, you get into family connections. In the post-apocalyptic world, it's real. It's who's the strongest, secondary, who's the smartest. I mean, in the end, who's the smartest really should be number one. But at first, it's brutality. If you could become more brutal, and you're a good survivor, you will be able to lead a group. So I like how they had her beat the man in hand-to-hand combat. Is it realistic? Didn't really seem realistic, but I give them, that was a little better than the whole Beth character was just outrageous. And I think that kind of brought down the mid-season finale. And I think if they're smart, they'll kill Noah off too. That's just my feeling on it. Kill Noah off. And I mean, I do think, I don't know where they're going from here, to be honest. Like, I do admit, I'm curious because I can't really predict where they're going from here at all. Season 4, you kind of predicted. Yeah, beginning of season 5, they took out Terminus quicker than anyone would have thought, including myself. I agree there, but you kind of knew that the conflict was coming. Now, I'm not really sure where they're going from here, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting, I have to admit. But so far, I give season 5 much better than season 4. But I would say this for sure, though. Definitely glad Beth is dead. Walking Dead fans who might, hear this and get offended, I'm happy if you do, to be honest. I'm a fair person. Just like how I get on DC for listening to their fans, with their fans' insanity, with saying that DC is running the game, right? At least in terms of movies. I'm not talking about in terms of TV, because even TV, to be honest, I'm going to say that in a different video, but even TV, that's in trouble too if you look at it as they're running TV, but they could have done stuff much better with that. But this is not really about DC, it's about Walking Dead. So season 5 so far, pretty good. Why is it pretty good? Not great. Because of Beth. To some extent, bringing in characters like Noah. Beth is dead. Hopefully Noah will be gone in 2-3 episodes in the new season. And in the latter part of season 5. So until next time, peace.